controversial car. Fucking hell, hang on. Fuck! Now we all know I hate German cars, but is this going to change my view on them? These corners here, how tight? Oh! Yeah, lads. Press brake pedal to... Well then lads, it is a very interesting video because we are in something German. We're in Ash's Audi TT Mark 3 TFSI, so it's a 2 litre turbo one and not the 3.2 litre V6. I'm pretty sure it's a 3.2 V6 anyway. But you're gonna have to forgive me for this one lads, because you all know that I don't really like German cars that much. So as you can tell, I'm not really clued up on German cars. My knowledge on German cars is a little bit low. I've researched a little bit on this car, but nothing overly. You know, I don't have the passion to learn about the German cars. I'll explain that now. The reason I don't like German cars in general is because, to me, they represent somebody. This is just my head, so bear with me. They represent somebody that just goes out and buys something because it's the norm. That's what to me it represents, and it doesn't represent any time. You know, it just represents money, and to me, time is more important than money. So I appreciate time on builds rather than money on builds. So if someone who goes out and just buys an M3 and brings it to car shows and starts revving the bollocks off it, that's not me, that's not what I'm into. So I thought, you know what, we're going to dive into something halfway. This is definitely not a car that's just been gone out and bought. This is a stage 2, it's running 350 brakes, stage 2 gearbox, etc, etc, etc. It's been wrapped and the wrap is absolutely stunning. It's absolutely stunning. On pictures it seems really satin, but when you see in person the fleck is absolutely amazing. It has such fleck on a satin wrap, it's absolutely gorgeous. So you know, he's got upgraded brakes. I'm not going to go through every single thing he's done. I'm going to put a full list in the description, but it's running 350 brake and around about 380 foot-pound of torque. So to feel something like that in a German car, which is, you know, so smooth, it's going to be pretty interesting. Now instantly, just jumping in this car, it's, if you're looking for a sort of car you just get in and drive, this is really not for you. I mean, Ash has had to literally talk to me for a good roundabout 15-20 minutes on all the drive modes, the sport modes, the manual modes, everything like that. It's not a car you just jump in and drive. It takes a while to get used to. I mean, I normally just jump straight into the car and just get in and drive it, but you know, being automatic, I've only ever drove a few automatic cars in my life, and I've definitely not drove anything, no, in a while, anything new or any sport automatic, DSG, anything like that. So for me to understand it, it was, I wouldn't say difficult, but it wasn't very easy. It was not easy. This is DNS, so we've got, that means we're in S, that means sport. You put it down once, we've got drives. That's drive, that's just a normal driving mode now. Hopefully this Nissan note will go around me, thank you. And then obviously you have sport, and then if you want to go to manual, you have to put it over there. So basically we have a drive mode, which we're in now. Drive is fully automatic, and it's changes gear around about 2 grand, 2.5 grand, so it's pretty much eco, okay? So you have that mode, and then you have a mode which you press down and it goes into sport. As you can hear the exhaust now, it's just the revs are going up. Basically sport is fully automatic, but turns into a little bit more of a hooligan, Ash says. You know, the revs will only change at red line. So it's basically an automatic race car, and I forgot to turn the fucking AC on, and I'm absolutely boiling. Now the first thing, guys, I've got to talk about is the interior. The interior is very, very nice. Coming from someone who likes Japanese cars and likes a little bit of rugged, it's very nice to step into something like this, and I can see why, you know, when you become a little bit more mature, you actually want something like this. The seats are absolutely gorgeous. Like the half leather, half Alcantara are great. Steering wheel, I love the fact that the steering wheel's got the you know, the flat bit bottom, like that just gives it that proper race car feel. Now another thing I really like as well is you actually have a Google Maps view there right in the dashboard, and there is a way where you can make it, oh, view, press and view.
look at that, lads. That's cool. That is pretty damn bloody cool if you ask me. And Ash was saying as well that you can actually put films on there. I'm not sure what films he meant by that. But I bloody hope he didn't mean the bad films when I'm sitting in this fucking seat and holding this steering wheel. What have you been doing in here with these films, mate? What have you been doing?
So the interior as a whole is getting a sick lad point. It is getting a sick lad point. Now, but that's very obvious because it's German, it's expensive, it's luxury, it's really nice. So you would expect it to get a yes lad point, a sick lad point to the interior, and it's fucking gonna get one. Now, okay. Okay. Now, one thing I am not a huge fan of, and it's gonna get a lad point, is just all the buttons inside. I mean, for some people like that, they like the gadgets, but for me it was just like, I got into the car and asked, and I was like, the steering was just way too light. It feels like I weren't even controlling the car, to be perfectly honest, and I really didn't like that. And so at first I was gonna be like, nope, now I'll point straight away, steering is way too light, blah, 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 and he said you can change that. So we have to press this star down here, and then I had to go into dynamic. See, we have efficiency, comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. I have no fucking idea what they mean, and it's a little bit too confused. Just let me drive the car. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's still getting a lad point for all the, you know, all the buttons I've got inside and all the setting up I've got to do for me. Now it is good because everyone drives differently, but I'm sort of person that, you know, you get in the car and you learn that car sort of way. I don't like electronics, I don't like assistance, things like that. So all the buttons and stuff and all the different modes, that to me is a lad point, and that's something I'm not much of a fan of, to be perfectly honest.
Now the one thing I do feel like in this car is that, do you know when you try and explain something to your mum or your dad or your grandma, something about, you know, Facebook or Instagram, and they're like, how does that work? How does it work? What does it mean? And you're like, oh my god, are you actually that stupid? Like, it's so easy. I feel like I'm in my mum, my dad, my grandma's shoes when you're trying to understand what's going on in this fucking car. Like when Ash was talking to me, I was like, mate, I have no fucking idea what that is. What is it? Like, what is this? What is Audi? That's genuinely what I felt like. All the electronics and stuff, they're a little bit, you know, too much for me.
It's, I'm so impressed with the responsiveness. I mean, that was literally only a little tickle in sport, and that threw me back in the seat instantly in third gear. So that I can already tell there is no turbo lag whatsoever. Now the other thing I'm really intrigued to see is a launch control. I've never been in a car with launch control as well, so it's going to be fun. Ash has told me how to do it. I'm probably going to fuck up once or so, but he's told me how to do it. He says go for it. I was a little bit, you know, because being someone who's blown up a gearbox, I don't like doing stuff like that. I don't like redlining it. I don't like, we're going to turn around here. Don't like redlining it. I don't like doing anything like that. Now I've got to be really careful because I don't really know how to fucking reverse very well. So I'm gonna wait for the for a lot of traffic to go. Tell you what, I'm gonna go now, just before this cyclist, and then into reverse. It's not that bad, lads. Right, so we're in drive now, so changes 2.5. So now we're in 4th gear at 30 mile an hour. So if we bang it back into it goes straight into 3rd. Right, so we're gonna have a little bit of a test here. It's a bit difficult because I'm on 50 mile an hour roads, but we're gonna keep it in sport, and we're gonna have a little bit of fun. When you've got your foot down, it sticks like anything. But that's when you pull off. When you pull off the throttle and you've not got that power going to the back wheels, you can really tell that the weight of the car's over the front axle. You can really tell that straight away. Like just back then, when I'm going around a corner with my foot down, whoa, sticking like a go-kart. When I go around a corner with my foot off the throttle, you can really tell that the engine's at the front. You can really tell. So, in other words, never let off the throttle around the corner in a 4-wheel drive car, especially an Audi 4-wheel. And the good thing about this car is there's 2 ways to go to manual. You can either flip that over, and now we're in manual, or if you go back into sport, you can press manual, press one of the floppy paddles, and so now I'm in manual. So this will only woo, Jesus, that's so responsive. Holy shit! Well, it will only change gear when I want it to, which is what us car lads like. But manual's so much better. The good thing about manual is there's no, when you're going fast on a corner, there's none of this. Like, see, now there's another thing that's just annoyed me, right? I put it in manual with a floppy paddle to gearbox, and because I've not got the gear change to the left, if you don't actually press a gear within, I think that must have been about a minute, it goes back to automatic. And there's just so much things going on. But I think when you get used to it, it'd be amazing. But I am keeping that now lad point with all the brain inside the car, electronics, all the buttons, all, you know, it's very confusing. There's a lot going on. But I'm going to press this over, so hopefully now it won't change gear when I don't want it to. So as I was saying, yeah, with the floppy paddle gearbox, try saying that fast, Lockwood. With the floppy paddle gearbox, you don't actually ever have to take your hands off the wheel, ever, because you've always got you've got the gear changes there and there and there. So for track stuff and country lanes like this, it's absolutely amazing. You know, there's no dip in the clutch and making, you know, there's no dip in the clutch with your hand off the wheel and all that. Your left foot can just chill out, lads. You can just chill out, and you've got the gear changes there. And I wish this fucking micro would get out of the way so I can actually test it. Woo! The brakes are really good. Why are they in the middle of the fucking road? Cyclists, they're literally in the middle of the road. Get off to the side.
I feel like we're in the wrong place on the wrong day. Every single fucking person is giving me evils. Every single person. Especially the cyclists doing all this, slow down, slow down. You get off the middle of the road then, and I might.
So like, I'm a little bit sad to say, thank you mate, that the DSG is actually growing on me. I normally hate the DSG because it sounds like shit, but this one actually sounds quite nice. And the pops. Oh, the pops. Oh, it's so punchy. Wow, it's so punchy.
Like, look at it, lads, it just sticks. It absolutely loves it. Bang it down to second without moving your hands off the wheel. Woo! I've turned the music on again. It's gonna say on the steering wheel because there's 100 fucking buttons everywhere.
I actually can't get over the fact how punchy it actually is. Whoa, holy fuck, that's so much fun. This is like the ultimate car to like drive around roads like this. You know, I've been in the Mazda that's sort of 450 brake, 450 brake, but the lag on it was there. My Subaru, the lag was there, but in this there's just no lag whatsoever. It's crazy how quickly it pulls out of the corners.
Dab it in. Whoa, bit of a pop, bit more pop. It's so tight. Whoa.
I'm really impressed with it, lads. I really am. I'm not so keen on the drive and the sport. I'm not necessarily keen on the automatic whatsoever. That's not me. I don't think that's fun. But the manual, oh, the manual's great. Great fun. But without the manual, wow, the manual just makes it become so much more alive. In sport, because it's changing the gears for you, put your foot down, sometimes there's a bit of a delay where it's like, okay, I'm a little bit high gear, let me change down to second, okay, let it go.
So like football, that's sport, and then it kicks in, do you know what I mean? So it's, if you're in the wrong gear in sport, it takes a while for it to happen, so I'd much rather, bang, have manual, you know what you're doing then.
But in manual, you know, if you know what you're doing with the gears, then bump, 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 bump. These corners here, how tight. Oh, oh, Jesus. I've turned the music on, I don't know how I did it. The four-wheel drive and just how responsive the car is and just how it just sticks to the ground. It's got Michelin Pilot Sports on, so how it just sticks. They all play together so well. And I couldn't really see that in the roads of Ford, it's 50 mile an hour, but around that tight bend then off, oh, holy shit. That's fun. That is fun. Woo! Oh, fucking hell. Oh, it carries on.
another thing to note with these is that I was looking this morning on the specifications, and the tax on these is only around about £140 a year. Now, whether that's wrong or whether I'm looking at the wrong type of Audi, but I was definitely looking at a 2014 onwards 2-litre TFSI, and it said £140 a year in tax, which is mega cheap, mega cheap. I'm not entirely sure why, but that's amazing. Right, now listen to this, lads. Shut the door. Turn it, and then just turn it off. Does the volume have to be loud, or will it? No. Right, listen to this. It's like being in an Eibach, that. Look how beautiful it is, lads. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful day, beautiful roads. Driving a beautiful car. Does it get much better than this? So while I'm home now, lads, and while I couldn't really do the outro while I was driving home because I needed the sat nav, but while I'm home, I'm going to do a little bit of a conclusion, a little bit of a discussion of the car. Has it changed my view on German cars? Yes, it has. I completely understand why people have them now. I'll put my window up because some guy's looking at me like I'm a weirdo. I can completely understand why someone's taste. You know, you've got the luxury, you've got the comfort, you have that expensive feel, but at the same time, the performance is there. I can understand that. Would I have one? No, I wouldn't have one. To me, although Ash's car has changed my opinion on them quite a lot in relation to, you know, people who own them don't know much about cars. It has changed that a lot. Ash knows a lot about cars, and, you know, he's put the time into that car as well. Although it has changed my opinion on the fact that personally, I still want to have them. Personally, I still have that look at, you know, most German car owners have bought them for the badge. It'll take a lot for me to get that out of my mind. I like something that's hard to keep on the road. I like things that are rare, something that you don't see that often, and things that make your head turn. Although Ash's car does head turn a lot, and my God, is it probably one of the best cars I've ever driven. In terms of all-roundness, that's probably one of the best cars I've ever driven. But to me, it just doesn't tickle the boxes that I want to be tickled. Do you know what I mean? Great car, love it. I can completely understand, completely appreciate it. But for me, it's not something the person that I would own. I like something that's older, a little bit more rugged, a little bit less safe, and a little bit less technical. I just want something a lot more raw, and this is why I have a Subaru. The Subaru is getting in drive. You don't like it? Fuck off. That's Subaru. The Audi tries to tend to too many people. It's kind of, you know, it kind of dabbles its boxes, but driving wise, absolutely incredible. Actually, I've got a very good car there, mate, my friend. So I hope you enjoy the video, lads. I hope this has been nice, even though, you know, a lot of you know I hate German cars, and, you know, I hope I've still tried to fully indulge myself into the Audis and stuff. Well, thanks for watching, lads. I love you all, and I'll see you next time.